Hey.
Hey now.
Are we live? Are we here? Is this thing on? Wait a minute. What?
Psst, come on, man. Are we live?
Whoa.
Yes.
Hey. Thank you so much.
It's Friday.
It is. Hey, welcome everybody. It's Johnny Beane and J7/8. August 14th, 2020. That's right. 8:06 Eastern Time, 5:06 California time, where it is like 100 degrees. It's insane. It's not supposed to get this hot in Santa Cruz, man. That's no. But so how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good. A little tired today. Kind of out of it, but I'm here and I'm ready to rock. So hello to everybody in the chat. Hold on, I have it on top chat. I got to change that.
Hey. Really quickly, man, we need a system. Welcome. We're live. We're currently live. We're live on Facebook. We should actually see some Facebook people in here because I shared this video all over Facebook, like the actual Facebook video itself. So
What do you mean get Facebook people in here?
Normally when we're live on Facebook, there's like 2 people watching.
Yeah.
There should be more. There should be more tonight. There should be.
Okay.
Hopefully. We're also live on Periscope, where last week we had 1 person watching.
And it was probably your phone that was on it.
Thank you again. No, they actually said something in the chat. You know, I saw the thing. Andy, is it Mitchell? Welcome. You're on Facebook. There you are. I see you. And of course, we're live on YouTube. You know, that's really our home base. That's where this whole thing started. You know. And
it will continue, right? It will continue on YouTube.
Oh, of course.
Because I saw a comment saying if you move to Facebook, they're out of here. But I don't. No, I mean I understand how obviously the YouTube thing would be the main thing, and obviously trying to branch out, and maybe do some special things on different platforms, which makes sense. But
yeah,
coming from my perspective, yes, the main shows, those will be when they are and where they are and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. But we've got some ideas for some other things. I'm always talking about the Van Halen group. That's what we talked about last week.
Saturday, right? Saturday night. Yeah.
We talked about that. And we were actually in there. We were actually in there doing live postings.
Well, no. It was live trolling is what it was.
Wasn't me. It wasn't me, but so we're going to do some sort of exclusive Van Halen show within that Van Halen Facebook group, where probably by next week we'll have 20,000 members. Like it's crazy. I mean, it's literally crazy. It's literally crazy over there. So we really gotta plan what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But here on YouTube, where a lot of you are watching from, you can become a channel member, which is basically you're a sponsor. You're a sponsor of the channel. You're a sponsor of these videos, and the executive producers, the top tier, are Charles Green, Joe Christian, Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Mike Neese, Michael Smith,
Captain
Captain Michael Smith, David Ennis, and
Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So let's see. Do you want to do it? Should I do it?
I like when you do it, but I'll do it tonight. Let's see. I'm trying to find the pop out here. Let's see. Participants, we got, wow. Okay. We got Brendan Buttcheeks, Chris Bevan, Cobra Kai Platoon, Edwin Crane, Frank Corcoran, Fruitcake Tony, Guitar Hack, Hal Face, Han 36 Solo, Hugh Caldwell, Janice Lala, Jeff T, Jimmy Bitter, Johnny Beane is here. He's highlighted in yellow, everybody. John BL is here. Juan Lanzavecchia, I apologize because I know I didn't say that right. Julia Baldassari.
Hey, Julia.
What?
Hey, Julia. It's good to see you here live. Haven't really seen her in the live chat, so okay. Welcome.
Kenko Dor, Kenny Dave, Kurt S5150, LOL, ha 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 is here. That's a new name. I like seeing new names. It's a good one.
Wow.
Mike Neese, Mr. BHB Jr. Is that?
That's Bruce.
That's Bruce.
Yes.
Music Therapy Laz, Papa Blue, Pariah Pickups is here. Hey, man.
Hey.
Priest, Quentin James, R2R3 Locking Nut, Renus Pinkle, Sandra Picorni, Steve Carmichael, Thomas Santiago, Thrash Metal Fun Riffs, Vistalite 1972, and anybody else that's joining us. Hello there.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Yeah, we got 78 in here. I think 4 likes over on Facebook. I think that's what that means. That's what I'm looking at anyway. And
I see a new name in the chat. Mancuda sucks something.
Welcome.
And Johnny, real quick before we get too far into the show, you mentioned different things on the channel, different things coming up. I just want to again point out that Wednesday, August 26th, myself and Boner Jams, and obviously if Johnny wants to hang out or just run behind the scenes, it's up to him. After all, this is his whole, this is his channel.
I'll be your John BL. I can be your John BL.
Okay, you'll be a producer.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start out obviously doing one show, see how it goes. If everybody digs it, we have a good time. It'll most likely be like once a month, but we're gonna do a heavy metal based show because you guys know that I'm a big metal guy. Mostly, not as much newer modern metal, even though I do like a lot of it. But I'm not, my thing is like the '80s and and that like thrash metal stuff, and even some into the '90s that I love.
Yeah.
But so we're going to do something and see how it goes, talk about that type of stuff, maybe talk about some Ibanez guitars and things like that. And we'll see how it goes. If everybody digs it, we'll keep doing it. And if you don't dig it, we'll keep doing it.
I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years and people are finally starting to dig it.
Dude, it is crazy when you think about it. It's like, it's already been just about 3 years to like the day pretty much that I was my first show on with you guys. And that's how long it's crazy.
Well, I saw on Facebook, we've been Facebook friends for 3 years. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So you must have been on here then because this is how I met you.
Yes.
On here,
Yeah, I know. I got all choked up when I saw that. 3 years with Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to that, and pretty soon I'm gonna have to change the name of the thing from Johnny Beane TV to Johnny Beane TV Network.
Yes, there you go.
And hey, anybody, if you want a show, everybody can have one. Pick a night. I'm sitting here. I sleep in this chair.
He's sleeping right now.
Yeah. As long as I can hit the button, stop and start. You guys all know the drill, But no, I'm serious. If anybody wants to work on something, let me know, and we can do something. And hey, Liquid Charlie, I just saw you, man.
Hey, man.
Charlie, do you want a show?
That would actually be good to get somebody overseas to have a show, because it'll be an opposite time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be a different time, and it'll be like more, I guess.
For them.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do I have to wake up at 4 a.m?
Oh, that's right, because you'll have to run it. Right.
Either way, we'll figure it out. Charlie, we'll do it, man. We'll do it. Ned TV at midnight. Hey, that's a good one. Ned TV. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, just strap like a GoPro on him. You know?
Yeah.
See where he goes.
Oh man, you guys, I don't know what it's like where everybody else is, but we had some sort of like meteor shower or something last night, didn't we? Oh, the whole Earth did it, I guess. Okay, it wasn't just Santa Cruz.
Just over your house. That's the only place you could see the meteor shower.
Did anybody see it? We were out there at midnight, and I didn't see anything. But there was all these satellites like a month ago or something. That was pretty cool. I actually saw them. They're all like going across the entire sky and everything. It was pretty cool.
That is neat.
Yeah.
It's cool to see stuff like that. You know, anything I see moving in the sky, I'm like, alien, you know, everywhere. And I even, if I'm outside, like walking the dogs at night or something, you know how sometimes you'll see a bright star in the sky, but the clouds are moving and there's like two different levels of clouds. So one level is moving faster than the other. And then you see a big star and you swear that's like something moving out there. And then you have to like line up to a tree to see what actually is moving. And of course it's never the star, because, you know, but I always want to see something.
Yeah. It's the clouds that move, you know?
Yeah.
That's all it is. Dave Sampin, hey, good to see you, man. Over on Facebook. See, I told you, we'll have some Facebook people in here tonight. It'll be awesome. There's Cameron. Hey, Cameron. Hey. You guys just got off the phone?
No, I haven't talked to Cameron in 2 days. We talked, man, me and him the last, well, I'd say, let's see, what's today? Friday. So that would be what? Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday. We've been sending guitar links back and forth for maybe to check out a Sir or whatever. And he's so pissed at me probably right now, because he's like, you're like a woman clothes shopping, dude. Like if one thing isn't perfect when you're looking at a guitar, you're like, nope, don't want it.
Oh man.
Yeah, but he's been trying to get me to try out a Sir for a while now, and I think I got to pull the trigger sometime. So
that's cool, man.
Let's see.
Yeah. Those are great. Dave, is it better to watch on YouTube? There's more people in the chat on YouTube. You know, like Dave, like how many people are watching with you on Facebook right now? See, I don't even know. I don't have it open. Whoops. Oh.
and talking about Sirs, you know, they're one of those guitar companies that, you know, if you dig and look and read, you know, online forums and just Facebook in general too, you know, any guitar company, you'll usually see, you know, every once in a while you'll scroll down, you'll see a negative thing, you know, whether it's, you know, whatever. And I haven't really been able to find any negative stuff about Sir.
No bad reviews.
No, it's crazy.
About
like
anything.
No. And I mean, they are expensive, but in that case, it seems like you get what you pay for, you know? So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And we have 8 watching on Facebook. Thank you, Dave. And so we got about 74 on YouTube. Edwin says, I think. I don't know what I'm looking at. I can't tell. Either way, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here, even though it's super. Well, that's why everybody's here. It's too hot outside. Is this like a national thing? This heat wave?
Not really. I mean, it was only in the 80s here today, upper 80s.
Because
No.
80s in Santa Cruz is kind of weird, but what was that? Yeah, it's very hot here. Very, very hot. And where are we? Let me also say this is also a podcast. I haven't really said that in a while.
No, you haven't. Where's the podcast button? Is it this one? Is that it?
I think it's this one.
Oh, okay. That's when the audio is bad. That's the whole podcast. If Johnny uploads an hour and a half or 2 hour podcast, if the audio is bad, it's just
yeah,
an hour and a half of that.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was like a month behind on the podcast, and I didn't upload any of those shows because the sound wasn't, I didn't think the sound quality was that great. So, I uploaded the one from last Friday with Margaret. So there's a podcast for that show. Saturday, I'm still thinking if I should do that one or not. I mean, I should do all of them, I know, but I'm having computer issues and it takes me an extra hour just to do the podcast. Literally, I'm sitting here for an hour having to do it. But anyway, you can subscribe and listen to the Johnny Beane podcast on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, which I think that's a Google thing right there.
Wait, Google Podcast is a Google thing?
That
the code on that one.
that bottom right symbol.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
That's the symbol for Google Podcast. Yeah, and it's I think it's pretty big.
That's what she said. Yeah, but back to your thing about the sound of podcasts. I think especially nowadays, maybe when podcasts first became like, the norm and the big thing, you could overlook some audio deficiencies. But nowadays, man, if I put a podcast on and the audio doesn't sound like they're in the car with me,
forget it.
Off. Yep.
Turn it off. Yeah, because you're not going to sit through 2 hours of that. Yeah, I used to. Is Amber here? Alan's here. Hey, Alan. Alan Garber, good to see you, man. Alan, do you want a show? I'm giving away shows. Let me know.
We got a 4 a.m. slot open.
Let me know. What was I saying? Podcasts. Oh, I mentioned audio Amber. Quality. I mentioned Amber because Amber over on Facebook is a Duranie. That's how we know each other, from the Duran groups and everything.
Duranie?
Yeah, they're called Duranis. Duran fans.
I'm a Duran fan. I ain't never heard of
That's what they're called. Yeah, Duranis. Wow. Yeah. But I used to subscribe to a Duran podcast years ago through Apple, through iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool listening to it. I remember in the car, but the sound quality wasn't, it was, the thing is, I don't want to touch my settings on my mixer. Those settings have been locked in there for like 4 years, but yeah, if it's too tinny,
yep.
If it's too tinny, it's not good. If you got too much of the what do you call it? It's not syllabus. Yeah, what's the word?
I know, sibilance.
Sibilance. Yeah. Sibilance. If you got too much of that, if it's like too far away, it's kind of weird. It's
and then if you have too much room noise, I like the wrestling podcasts. To me, those are no, I'm serious. Those are and I think they're among the most popular podcasts as well.
That's where this button comes in handy. Oh, we can start a wrestling podcast.
Where's another one? Oh, and the Undertaker.
all we need to do is press these buttons, and that'd be the
The whole
podcast.
podcast. Yeah. So, years ago, well, I wouldn't say years ago, maybe like 7, 8 years ago. I'm trying to think when it was now.
That was years ago.
But Roddy Piper, you know him, obviously, right?
I know of him. I don't actually know him, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, before he passed away, he started a podcast. And it literally sounded like he and his guests, he always had maybe 2 or 3 people on with him. And it always sounded like they sat in like this big boardroom and they put one microphone in the center of the table.
Yeah. Yep.
And all you heard was like the room noise. Yeah. And it was like
one guy's like here, it's like one guy's here, one guy's like way over here. And it's yeah. Yeah, I know.
I just obviously I wanted to listen to it, you know, great stories and all that, but I just could not get past the fact that it's just like, oh my God, get out of here.
Quality. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. And I've always talked about sound quality for a long time. John Biel, did you just get the same alert I did, man? John Biel, are you here? I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want people jumping over there. But it's pretty cool, I guess. It's Van Halen related, and it'll be in the Discord. John Biel, if you see that link, please put it in the Discord underneath the Van Halen videos section. Or somebody. There's got to be somebody else in the Discord in here. Anyway. Yeah, podcasts. I mean, that is the future. I mean, it has been for a long time, but it's I hate to say it, but it's bigger than this.
Well, dude, look at Joe Rogan, the contract he signed to be exclusive on Spotify. I mean, it's like $300 million contract for what was it? How many years?
How many years did Joe Rogan get? Huh? 5?
5-year, 3. Shoot, man.
I've got a producer sitting over there too. So.
There you go.
That watches Joe Rogan. So,
dude, it's
knows
great.
everything.
It's great. I mean, say what you want about Joe Rogan, but at least like he has different guests on. He covers different topics, and the thing I like about him is like he doesn't claim to be this big smart guy that knows all this stuff. Like he asks questions that like the normal person would ask, and that's why I like him, because I'll be sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, I want to know, and then he'll ask it, and I'm like, yes, you know.
And you don't even have to know who the person is that he's talking to,
and it's interesting.
It's just the conversation in itself is cool. Yeah, we've watched tons of them.
Yep.
And he was a stand-up comic. He was on TV shows. He was on
Scare Tactics, or not Scare Tactics. What was it called? Fear Factor.
He was on Fear Factor. He also did some stuff with what's his name? I can't think of it. Somebody.
Well, he was the UFC, announcer. But I wasn't really a fan of him. Like, I'm not a fan of his stand-up. I'm not really a fan of his announcing. I think he sounds like a mosquito sometimes. Oh, he got him with that big shot, like that type of stuff. But his podcast is, I mean, that's my go-to if I'm going to listen to, or watch one. That's usually what I go to.
Yeah. And I think I discovered him when Roth was on with him. Whenever that was, I think that's when I discovered it. Like that was like a year ago or something.
Yeah,
that was a while back. And it looks like, speaking of Roth, it looks like him and Kiss are going back on tour. What is it, next year?
Yeah, August. I think
supposedly
August. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, what do you think? And I know, everybody, I'm sure a lot of people when they saw that were thinking like,
is it going to be a drive-in show, or is it going to be like an actual?
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what it means as far as Van Halen.
Matthew, thank you. Yeah, he was on News Radio as well.
Oh,
Joe Rogan. He was on News Radio, that TV show. Matthew, thank you. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go regardless.
Well, no. If you had to speculate right now, obviously, if well, I'll just give my opinion. When I saw that, I'm thinking like, okay, if there is any kind of possibility that Van Halen is going to go on tour next year, then what does that say? If Roth is going on tour with Kiss. Now,
Oh,
obviously,
I see what you're
maybe
saying.
Van Halen, and obviously this is all hypothetical, just
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. If there is just like a short run of stadium shows, maybe in, June, July, then obviously August will be fine. But I don't think the Van Halen brothers would be cool with, especially it being announced now before anything with Van Halen got announced. That's just me thinking out loud. And, a million things run through your head when you're looking at like, whoa, well, what does this mean? Well, wait a minute here. You start thinking about all that stuff. So,
Um, yeah, and just so you guys know, we really don't know anything. People think we know everything,
mhm.
and sometimes we do. Sometimes we do know cool stuff, but we don't know anything. We're like, a lot of you. Um, who knows? That's what I always say when people ask me, "What do you think Van Halen's getting back together?" I'm like, "Who knows?"
Yeah, but people want to hear your opinion. Like, if you had to pick, like, what do you actually think? Are you just really just whatever?
Do I think Roth going on tour with Kiss again
What
would
do you
have?
think that says about a possible Van Halen tour in 2021?
I don't think it says anything about it.
Okay.
I don't think it means anything for the. I think it just means that was a tour that got postponed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it is them just picking it back up and restarting, or I don't know if they're doing different dates, or I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I have no idea either. I just saw it started in August or whatever.
Yeah, of next year.
Yes.
Yeah, so a year from now. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously the NAMM show, was canceled, which thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And that it would have been insane if they would have kept with that, because you get sick regardless when you go to that.
Everyone will think they have the Carbona when they get back.
I thought I did. I really thought I did. And so we'll see. Well, we'll see what happens. Coming up. But what else? What else? Oh, I should have made some notes, but I didn't. Clayton James Hicks, 1998 Hicks. Today is Frankenstrat Friday. That's right, Clayton.
It is. And who knows when I'm going to get my Frankenstrat? It'll probably be another 6 months, but hey, as long as it's coming, it's coming. That's what she said. And real quick, before we completely change the topic, I just got a Kurt S5150 says, I wish they would do a super tour with Dave and Sammy, but that is a long shot, and I bet Van Halen doesn't do anything for a year. Yeah, I honestly could never see Dave legitimizing the Sammy Hagar era and doing something together. I could not see Dave ever doing that. I don't think Dave can. I don't think he cares, man, about I don't think he'll ever do anything,
You never know. Never know. I mean, that's what I always say. But
I mean, maybe if the Sam and Dave tour went well and they got along,
Did you go? You didn't go to that, did you?
Yeah, I saw one of the shows in.
Oh,
the hell was it? Was it in Jersey or New York? I can't remember where I went to see it. But Roth opened, and it was super cool because I had never seen. I'm trying to think. Did I see Roth solo before that show or after that show? I think that was the first time I think I saw Roth, and it was super cool. Because he was playing with, and you guys will probably know the band he was playing with then, but it was pretty much them being Van Halen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Playing that era of songs. So it was awesome for me to see it because like I said, I had never seen the Roth era live. So I was more excited to see Roth that show than I was to see Sammy. Even though, I mean, Sammy put on a bigger show. You know what I mean?
Bigger production.
Bigger production. Yes.
Yeah, that's back when he had all the palm trees on the stage, and he
Yeah.
had the waitresses come out and all that stuff. Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if I would have, you know, it was cool though. It was really cool thing to see. But of course, everybody wanted to see them do a song together, and we all found out after the fact that, you know.
Well, what song would they do together?
Well, they would probably have to. I honestly could see Sammy saying, "Hey, I'll do one of your era songs with you, if that's what we have to do," you know. But and then maybe, you know, I think Sammy mentioned, what about what's the song off Oh You One Two?
I just happen to have it right here. Finish what you started.
Yeah, finish what you started. But Dave would never do it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it, like I've always kind of thought it'd be, you know, Sammy can sing the Roth stuff. We've heard it. Dave singing the Hagar era stuff.
Yeah.
Even if he did, it'd just be weird. It wouldn't be right.
No.
There's something about it. Something about it would not just feel right to me. I actually, you know, I would. What do you guys think in the chat on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook? If the Sam and Dave tour, if they did do a song at the end, what song do you think they would do? I myself, I don't think they would even do a Van Halen song. I think they would do something like Rock and Roll, or you know, by Zeppelin, or they would do some sort of classic rock, you know, other tune, something by Zeppelin, something by maybe Montrose. Maybe Rock Candy. Imagine Roth singing Rock Candy. Actually, Van Halen back in the club days, they did do Montrose songs. Actually,
well, supposedly Dave was a fan of Sammy.
Yeah,
in the early days, which is probably pretty funny when you. But yeah, I think you're right. That might have been the equalizer. Like, hey, let's do something not Van Halen. You know, but I honestly don't think. I honestly think Dave doesn't want to do anything to legitimize Sammy Hagar. You know, that's life.
Yeah. Well, that's a song too.
I know.
Let's see. Best of Both Worlds. That'd be interesting. Actually, that would be interesting to hear them do that one. Run with the Devil. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Ain't Talking About Love. Maybe.
Well, when you see, you know, all the stuff that was made out after that thing was over with, you know, if Roth shows where Roth wasn't headlining that show,
the documentary thing.
Yeah, he'd show up late and just make, you know, like all that stuff, and it's kind of like, you know, not very cool.
Yeah,
but, you know, how do you can't expect less from Roth? Of course, he's gonna do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, unless you know, it's all staged. You know, that's what I kind of thought. Like back when I wasn't a fan yet when Roth left the first time. But when Sammy left in '96, I remember kind of wondering, I wonder if this is all like staged. Because he left and then Roth came back.
Yeah, Roth for the MTV thing.
Yeah, and for they had a best of volume 1 where they did 2 new songs. And then he left, and then Gary Sharon came in. And I remember thinking at the time that it's kind of like, I'm wondering if this is all like put together. I mean, obviously it kind of is, you know.
Well, I remember doing some reading up and stuff. This is, you know, I don't know, a handful of years ago, but about that whole debacle when Sammy left, and then supposedly the Mitch Malloy thing, and the next thing you know, Roth is back, but only for the, you know. And I remember just thinking after like reading stuff and piecing together, I'm like, MTV, it seemed like MTV basically told Van Halen, like, they almost made the decision for him, you know, because I think the whole thing with MTV seemed fake. That seemed fake. Like almost they brought up Roth with them for like a big whoa, holy crap. And they knew they weren't gonna keep him in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've got an echo for some reason.
Is it on my side then?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
No, don't leave me. No.
Hold on.
No, that's cool. It's fine.
Is it still echoing?
Echo. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Steve Carmichael, Wolfgang, dude. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the executive producer coming in with the content. Thank you, dude.
Is that better?
Yo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I was going to mention that how Wolfgang has been very active on Instagram and Twitter lately. And actually, our friend Zipkin has actually been corresponding with him lately, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So we'll still talk about this. I should have written some stuff down. Dang it. That gives me another idea. I'll write this down, and then we'll talk about that.
One of my dogs is flipping out downstairs for some strange reason.
Oh no.
Well, you wanted to discuss that one guitar.
Yeah. I'm making some notes for
guitar. That's how we do it here, folks. We go live and then we make notes of what stuff to talk about on the show.
I do have like all these notes here that I use, but most of that stuff is now memorized. I don't have to like sit here and read anything. Okay, actually, I'll go ahead and say this. But we'll talk about this stuff coming up. We'll talk about Wolfgang on Instagram. We'll talk about Sammy Hagar in the Circle doing "Don't Tell Me" off the Balance record. That happened this week. And then there's that guitar as well. Talk about that. Wow, 101 watching. Thank you so much. Make sure you leave a thumbs up wherever you're watching from. If you're watching us on Periscope, you can leave us some hearts.
Ooh, can you?
Yeah. Do you watch Periscope? Periscope is basically Twitter's. It's like Twitter video.
I do not.
Here we are. There we are. Let's see how many people watching us. Okay, I just jumped in. There's one person. Okay, so that's me. I'll give us our own hearts. Here we go.
Well, you can do that while this plays.
Why didn't you call Sammy? I just talked to Sammy. Why didn't you call Sammy? So I said, give me his number, man. I called him right there from his shop.
Called him right there from his shop.
Yeah. See, these are the hearts. These are like if you tap on the screen, you see those at the bottom there? Those are hearts. So those are Periscope hearts. There we go.
Ooh.
That's us on Periscope.
One viewer?
Yeah, and it was me. So let's see. What was I
you wanted to discuss the Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do?
Yeah. Sammy put out a like a little like teaser like last week that they were going to do that. And then they did it. It was a premiere on YouTube and Facebook. And it's pretty cool because the YouTube feed started first. Or no, the Facebook feed. So I had already watched the whole thing on Facebook before it even started on YouTube.
So Johnny saw it before anybody else.
I saw it before anybody. And actually, the guy that actually does all their stuff, like who does those videos, he lives here in Santa Cruz. Actually, we met years ago, not in Santa Cruz. I didn't live here then, but Michael Anthony and I did a video years ago, and the dude that was with Michael Anthony that was him. He lives here in town. He does all the stuff for Satriani, and Hagar. But anyway, what did you think? Because I know you're a huge, Van Hagar, fan. The Balance, maybe.
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, yeah, I think where I come from when I say, like, when you hear a song a certain way, and then you hear it a little different. And I respect how they kind of reworked a couple things, because I mean, Sammy, I think you'll agree with me. Sammy had a hard time singing that during that era anyway. Like that's a tough song to sing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I give him credit for trying it and doing it. And I obviously having Michael Anthony, Tom Balls, Tom back. What's up, man? That's Tom is my guitar player Mike's brother.
Awesome. Hey Tom, welcome.
Yep.
On Facebook. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to click that one.
But no, I mean it was cool the way they did it. I mean, the second Vic started the intro, I was like, nope, that's not he's playing it wrong.
Yeah, he played it differently. He was playing it a little different, but still, it's the same song. I mean, it's the same stuff. And yeah, the harmonies were different.
Mm-hmm.
The background harmonies, they were. How would you explain the difference? I mean, there were like the notes they used, or it was sang different. It wasn't sang like it was back when Van Halen did the song.
No.
So that was a little different. So that.
Well, the original was just drop D, right? They didn't tune down back then, and now what do they tune down, like a whole step with tune dropped?
It's tuned down quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you're 75 trying to sing when you were like 40 something.
Well, no, he was 39, I think, for 5150. He wasn't young. He wasn't a spring chicken. I mean, he looks like it and sang like it on that tour, but
he was probably 50. He was probably when Balance came out, he was probably 50-ish.
Yes, he was like either 48, 49 or something like that. So, I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He can still sing. I mean, obviously, those pipes he had in 85, 86, I mean, those were golden pipes. You watch that Live on a Net video and some of the stuff it's like, Jesus, dude, for 2 hours singing like that, insane.
Yeah. I mean, just Dreams, the song Dreams itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I get why he would have to tune it down and everything, but I mean, it's cool that he still is doing that stuff, and because the Van Hagar fans, I should say, at least they can get that from him and Mike.
Yeah. Oh,
what happened?
Echo
again?
It went away. It was only there for a second.
Start wearing headphones. God damn it!
It was only there for a second.
Renus Pinkle says Sammy is the same age as David Letterman. Let that sink in. Sammy is the same age as my father. To me, that's weird. I'm like, Dad, I could never imagine you like singing. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's weird.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is weird. I mean, just it's almost like yesterday. We were watching Live Without a Net, literally. And all of a sudden, it's however many years later. It's very strange.
Yeah, but like I said, the fact that Sammy is still doing that and enjoying it, he still loves to, whether it's put out new music or just do these types of things. And he knows how many people love that era of Van Halen, and he's still at least saying, "Hey, this is, still doing it."
Oh, he doesn't have to do anything.
No,
he doesn't. He hasn't had to do anything for a long time, and putting out new music, doing things, for the fans. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I've met him a few times over the years, and he was always really cool to me,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, as far as the Don't Tell Me version they did, I thought it was cool. I mean, it's a great song. I mean,
Yeah.
regardless, it's a great song, and that's something I was going to mention. Even the fact that Wolfgang Van Halen is himself is being very positive and very cool, and he's actually responding to Sammy. I don't know if you've seen that on Instagram.
Yes. And I had to double check and make sure that I was reading the right thing. Like, am I dreaming here? Is this?
I mean, that says something, you know, that Wolfgang and Wolfgang has said that Balance is like one of his favorite records.
He posted, I think, a picture of Balance, the album cover, either yesterday or the day before, didn't he?
I don't know.
On Twitter or on Instagram. It was one of the two.
Oh, yeah, maybe,
Yep.
yeah. Oh,
And
he was
sorry,
playing around. There's a new feature on Twitter. I don't know if you've noticed it, where you can select certain people. You can. It's almost like blocking people, but not. Like if I saw it, maybe if you here, I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll tag you in it. What you can do is you can compose a tweet, and then there's an option to have who can reply to the tweet. You can have everyone, people that I follow, or people that I only mention.
That's cool.
So I can do a tweet, and I can mention you. Here, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
And then who can reply? I'll put
just me and Wolf.
Anyway, yeah, we like technology too, you guys. I mean, we're huge. Yeah, we like technology too, you guys.
Twitter.
There we are. Oh yeah, we're live. We're live on thanks to Periscope. But Jay and I, we you know, I'm always tagging him in tweets like all the time.
You're the only reason I'm active on Twitter.
And there's some cool stuff. Like I tag you in like whatever, you know, whatever's cool. But anyway. So yesterday Wolfgang did a tweet. Here, I'll just exit out. He did a tweet where you couldn't reply back, but somebody actually figured out. They figured out. Well, if you quote the tweet, then you can reply back.
Oh.
So people started doing that.
The one he said, don't reply to this tweet if you're cool.
Yeah.
And then he put another one that said, reply to this tweet if you're cool.
Yeah. And actually, it was one of those. It was one of those where somebody tagged me with that guitar that we're going to talk about. That's how I found that. Although we've talked about this though many times, but there's actually here we'll just jump into it. Why not?
Yeah, screw it.
Can
I go in that room back there for a minute? I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll go back to the chat. Where's everybody watching from? We got 100 people in here. Let me know where you're watching from right now. Here, I'll put where I am. I'm in Santa Cruz, California, where it's currently 81 degrees, which is a lot for this area. Let's see. Renus Pinkel is somewhere. Fast Eddie VH, Pittsburgh. Well, here I'll just I'll do as many of these as I can. This is where it starts to really go. Whoops.
Hey, that's a real place.
Oh,
hey,
is
Chicago,
it?
That's right. Cobra Kai is in Chicago. That's right. Hey, wait a minute. Go back to that.
Oh.
That's my mother-in-law. Everybody say hi to Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Wow, awesome. Awesomes. So what was I saying? Oh, that guitar. Okay, so yeah, somebody tagged me on Twitter. Yeah, and people tag me on Twitter all the time, and it's great. But anyway, all of you guys. Okay, I'll just show this. Okay. Okay. Here, I'll have to go like this. Okay, this guitar, you guys have seen this picture. Okay. We've talked about this before. You know, we didn't know what it was for a long time. And
Eddie's looking like he doesn't know what the hell it is either. The hell am I playing?
yeah. Well, we finally figured out that that's the same guitar right there. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And it's known as the cat guitar. Looks like a cat. If you look at it, you see the legs. It's like it's jumping. You see like the head of where the top horn is. And I believe the eye actually lights up or something. It lights up, or it's a button or something. But anyway, those guitars. Here, I'll show this. See, it's one of the times where I was tagged on Twitter. Our good friend Greg Renoff tagged me, and that was a guitar that was owned. Actually, that was built by John Gatto of the Good Rats. Okay, I'll do this. And so there's the picture of Eddie. There's a picture of that might be John, but holding another one of those guitars. And from what I've heard, that guitar was a gift. It was given to Eddie. Obviously, that's the Fair Warning tour, him playing that. But there's a new picture that has surfaced of Eddie playing that guitar. And thank you to oh man, who is it? Let me open up my Twitter real quick. I told them I would mention this. Is this the right one? Van Halen Vault. Thank you, Van Halen Vault on Twitter. Here's the picture right here. So that's the same guitar.
And he striped it up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's striped up in this picture too. If you have to really look close.
Yeah, you're right. You
have to really look close. But looks different is the top.
That looks like electrical tape on that. Go back to that picture.
Yeah. It's covered in like
some kind of tape.
Electric.
Tape or...
I think it's electrical tape, probably. But anyway, that's another picture of that guitar right there. But the front looks a little different. I know it's kind of a weird picture. And it's possible. Well, it might be the same. Well,
yeah, I think it is the same.
Like the same show.
Oh, I don't know about the same show. I'm just looking at the guitar.
They were saying it's possibly a different show. But if you look at what Eddie's wearing, he's wearing those white pants in both of them. No shirt. Yeah. You really have to look. You have to look at his hair, I guess, to really. And the strap. I'm gonna say. Well,
that's early. That's early. If this is from the same show, that's early in the set, and the other one is a little later. Because look at his hair there; it's a little more wet down here, you know, and his body's glistening. And that one, he looks pretty looks like a helmet, Darth helmet up there. Look at him.
Yeah. So I would say it's probably the same show. Although if you look at the top of the guitar, obviously this picture here, it's not a great. It's hard to tell. I mean, here you see like either a gray. You know, it's like a gray pickguard or white. But here you can't really see. It's kind of different. So it's hard to see. So maybe it's different. I don't know.
I mean, he was always effing with his guitars, so who knows, right?
Yeah. That's what I was saying to who is it in the Discord? In the Discord, I was talking with somebody in there earlier today, and man, that place is hopping, man. That place finally, after 2 years now, there's people in there. It's just nonstop. The conversations in there. But I was talking to somebody in there earlier, and there's a link to the Discord there in the chat. You guys should really sign up, really join in there. We're having a great time. There's all types of different sections in there, different guitars, Van Halen stuff, obviously, lots and lots of stuff. And you can do it on desktop and mobile. You can do both. what was I saying to them? I was saying something about he's always changing his guitars all the time. Like if you look at the Frankenstein guitar, um, like every tour that he played that guitar, the guitar was always changing. It was always different. Every tour, it's different. It was never really the same.
Yeah.
You know, every tour. You know, different necks. You know, because they were mentioning something about how he had the Kramer beak neck for the S Festival, and I had said, well, I remember Eddie saying something in an interview, you know, way back when he would go on tour, you know, he would just take different necks with him. And if a neck if he started getting, you know, bad spots on the frets, he would just switch the neck. You know, because he didn't have time to do any kind of fret work. You know.
Wow.
So that's probably why you see, you know, all those different necks on that guitar over the years.
Well, Vistalite asks a question that I was going to ask: who makes that guitar?
This one?
Yeah.
John Gatto. It's like his like custom guitar.
What year were those made? Was it like literally a handful of them made? Because I've never seen a guitar like that before, except in that picture.
Let's see.
Robot Master Switch says the metal channel in the Discord is pretty banging.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a metal channel in there. There's you know, there's a selfie channel. There's tons and tons of stuff.
So the metal channel is pretty hopping in there, man. Maybe the metal show will actually be pretty cool then. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I want to say those guitars, I want to say they were custom. So there probably aren't too many of them. And obviously him giving one to Eddie as a gift, you know, is, hey, check this out, you know. Because everybody was giving Eddie guitars back in the day. You know, actually, I when I was telling you, I did a video with Michael Anthony way back when. He was telling me that back, what was he saying? He only plays like, he only has like a couple basses like that he actually uses, but everybody gives him basses all the time. Like he has so many, and he gives them away all the time. You know, in the Hard Rock cafes. You know, you always see a Michael Anthony bass, and you might actually see one from a music video. You know, the Rickenbacker from the Panama video is at the Hard Rock at Universal City Walk. Actually, you know, the black and white one.
That's one thing that I wish, you know, the one thing I really dig about Steve Vai is he has a website basically, you know, dedicated to his guitars.
Yeah.
And it's got, you know, as much information as probably he remembers or Thomas, his tech remembers, or whoever. And it's cool to scroll through and see all the pictures of what is it called? Like Vibe Machines or something like that is maybe some of the website or what it's kind of called. I really wish Eddie, I mean, I understand why back in the day he was very secretive about, you know, and you'll read an interview and he says one thing about what he did or what he used, and he'll read another interview maybe in a couple interviews later where it changed or whatever. And you can kind of tell that, you know, he wanted to keep what he was doing under wraps and kind of throw people off because he wanted, you know, he didn't want anybody sounding like him. You know, they were already ripping everything he did off anyway. Well, I really wish nowadays Eddie would launch something like that or put something up where like all of his guitars and gear, you know.
That'd be amazing.
Yep.
That would be so cool. But yeah, the Steve Vai one. We've showed this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've showed this before. You know.
Come on, if you had to pick one of those, you wouldn't pick the pink one? I know I would.
If I picked one, I'd probably pick the white one.
But that's the production model. Like that one is going to be, like if you wanted to buy one, that's the one that basically they make. I guess the pink, yellow, and the green, those ones are limited runs, I guess, of those ones. But God, the gold hardware.
Yeah. 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 So here's all Steve's guitars.
Hey, wait, go back up. Keep going. Hey, that one looks familiar, doesn't it? Wait a minute, everybody.
This
I know,
one?
but that's probably not a reissue. That's got to be an original. Mine's a reissue, but still awesome.
No, that's a reissue.
Oh, okay.
This is 30th. The Gem 777 DY 30th.
Dude, they didn't make very many of these. I was looking at that Ibanez wiki page or what the hell it is, where it has detailed breakdowns of the guitars.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't make very many of the I guess the yellow and the pink one. Those two they didn't make very many, but the green one I guess they made more of. I think that's what I read about them. Because this is, let's see what what it says here. God, my eyes are going now.
Yeah.
I've had like perfect eyesight. This is number 52.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat, the fact that there's 52. And another awesome thing about these guitars is they come with, and I think you might be able to see it. See the trem stopper in there?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that these are the only Ibanez production guitars that came with those trem stoppers in there. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, just imagine a site with all of Eddie's guitars. That would just be crazy.
Look at that grip, huh?
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, maybe, looking at that, I bet when whoever thought of that, it probably looked great when they visualized it. And then when they made it, they're like, oh man, this didn't turn out what we fan built. So there you go.
There you go.
See, but that's what I'm saying. That guitar right there, you're like, okay, a fan built it. You get to see it, and it's just neat. It's a very neat thing.
Yeah, so many. Look at that.
Yep. And hold on, wait. See the fire and the swirled universe?
Mm-hmm.
Those pictures are actually from Thomas McRocklin. I remember him mentioning to me that I guess Steve or somebody contacted and asked him to take pictures for this website. So those guitars Steve gave to Thomas when he was a kid. And then when they were putting this site together, Thomas sent those pics of those two guitars for the website. So
that's actually at Thomas's place.
Yes. Yep.
Those two. Yeah, I remember him showing us this one when he was on.
Mm-hmm. He showed the universe too.
Oh,
maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, he did.
I think he did. I think we saw all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the one from the music video, huh? Right? The Going Crazy video?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know exactly. Didn't he have a couple built for him?
Yeah. Well, I've seen them. I've seen them around because Jason Becker has one.
Mm-hmm. But dude, wouldn't this be great to have if Eddie launched something like this with all his guitars and man, be cool.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be amazing, man.
Yep. Look at the grip on that one, the pre-gem, the Gavtone Custom. The look on Steve's face is like, why would anybody make the monkey grip this big?
It actually looks like you can put your foot through it.
Yeah, foot grip.
It's the foot grip.
What does it say on there? Can you read What he signed it?
Not really.
Okay.
Something. It says words. Yeah. Oh.
Oh my God.
What is that? Shamray Custom Shop. Oh, it's a travel guitar.
That's type of guitar. If this was my set, I'd be like, don't even put that on there. leave that one off.
Yeah, but it beefs up the collection.
Yeah, I guess so. Give you it looks. Never mind.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hey, that's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been to the site many times.
Yeah, I do late at night, right before I go to bed.
Boner Jams. Oh, hey, Ned. Ned's here. Hey, man.
Boner Jams. We were discussing our future venture a little earlier. Again, August 26th will be the inaugural. I always have a hard time saying that word, but we're doing a metal show together, and we'll see how it goes. But right now, it's looking maybe once a month, the last Wednesday of each month, and we'll be discussing some metal stuff, some cool topics. I think a lot of maybe like like top 5 things, like like I want to discuss with you tonight, actually, like a few of your favorite sounding records. It doesn't have to be a certain genre. It doesn't have to be Van Halen, but just in general, like records that you hear, and you're like, oh my God, this sounds perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about it. Anything come to mind right off the top of your head?
As far as like the mix.
Yeah, as far as the mix, yeah. Were you muting a fart there? Is that what was going on?
No, a burp.
Oh, okay.
I'm always muting burps. That's one of the problems with when I've done these shows from the laptop here, where I can't mute, or I'd have to click, use the mouse or whatever.
Mhm.
Because if you guys see me, I'm always like this. That's me always pulling the fader, there we go. Yeah, pulling the fader down because I'm always burping. Always
burping.
Just when I do this, it's probably from talking and drinking tea and stuff. It's always happening.
A little bit gassy.
Yeah. But hey, Boner Jams, thank you so much, man. I need that gem. It's truly outrageous. Truly outrageous.
Which one? Which one's he talking about?
I don't. One of those.
Well, now he send another $5. You can tell us which one you're talking.
I'll open the browser back up.
Browser.
But hey, as far as great sounding albums, so you're talking the mix, you're talking the just the experience, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe of the entire thing. Let me see. Well, we were talking about Balance earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think Balance is an amazing sounding album. Yeah. Like, let me just pick a song off there. Judgment Day.
That's not on. That's a different.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay, well, I like Judgment Day. See, that's what happens when you use an iPod. It's like it's just on a playlist. No, I was gonna say, I was gonna say, Don't Tell Me. That's what I was gonna say. Because see, it's the second song, right? Don't Tell Me is the second song to Judgment Day as Carnal Knowledge, right?
I don't know, because I skip. What's the single that one of the singles they had off of Balance?
Can't Stop Loving You.
Yeah, I can't listen to that song, man. Oh my God. So either that's 2.
Don't Tell Me was a single.
Don't Tell Me is 3, or vice versa. I think Can't Stop Loving You is 2. I think.
Oh, for you?
No, on the real record, but on my playlist, it's 0. It's track poo instead of track 2.
Oh, let me think.
Well, I'll look it up.
On Carnal Knowledge, it goes Pound Cake, Judgment Day, Runaround.
No, Runaround's 4, isn't it?
Spanked, Runaround.
Maybe
John
Spank
BL.
is 4. Yeah, what is
John BL. What are we even talking about?
do we know this?
It's so hot here. Balance is Seventh Seal. Judgment Day.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
I should know this, but all right, let's see. Seventh Seal, Can't Stop Living, Don't Tell Me, Amsterdam, Fat Money. That's your playlist.
No, that's the actual album.
Oh.
This isn't my playlist.
Oh, so Can't Stop Loving You is second?
Yeah.
And then Don't Tell Me?
Yep.
Oh, Strung Out. Oh, that reminds me. In the Van Halen group, that is just insanity. Here, I'll put the thing here. Next week we'll have 20,000 members because I add like 100 people a day to this thing. Like I said, I'm working on starting a show within that group, an exclusive Van Halen show. And that's what the guy was saying. He's like, hey, if this show moves to Facebook, I'm leaving. No, it'll be another show. All your favorite shows will still be here, but there'll be a Facebook only show within that group. It'll be within that group. And I have a feeling it could get really big really quick. And I think if we plan it and put some thought into it, it could be really good. Really, really, really good. Not like we plan any of this. I just woke up
sometimes, man, planning stuff can seem very sterile, even though it is, sometimes it helps to have things to talk about.
Yeah.
But as far as like a strict regimen, it's, whatever.
It depends. It depends on what it is. Around here, that's never been the deal. It's always just been, just very just natural, whatever. What was I saying? Oh, speaking of strung out, off balance.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the group. Actually, I could show it. This is like what we were doing the other night. Maybe I'll show it. If I can find it, I will. If not, somebody had posted. Well, actually, I probably should go over there because I can't even remember what they were saying. But it had to do. That was my comment was. Okay, we got 11 watching on Facebook. I see that. Oh, wait a minute, Renus. Okay, Renus is posting over there right now. That's you, right? Strung Out on the Balance album was better than Cathedral and Down Down.
Oh my goodness. People are going to go bananas.
All right. I'm not going to show this. Do you want me to show this, Renus? I think that's you, right? What's your real name? So maybe I won't show it.
Yeah, I already threw. I remember last Saturday, I blew his cover. And you're like, no.
Yeah. This will probably be part of that show because we'll be live within there. So it would make sense to show what's going on in there within the video because we'll be in there anyway. So yeah, let's make sure. Let's write that down so we remember that. Let's see, show. I'm actually writing this down.
So we got a lot of people saying what their favorite sounding albums are, what their favorite VH albums are.
Oh, that's right. But anyway, somebody had posted something about they're like, oh, my favorite Van Halen record is Balance, within the group. And that got a lot of people going off because the name of the group is Van Halen 78 to 84.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I took over the group, I realized it was very, very early Van Halen heavy, like very, very, So I changed that. I changed the name to that. and a lot of people have a lot of opinions in there.
Oh
you
yeah.
know? I mean, it's craziness. But so somebody had posted my favorite. Oh, somebody's typing now. I'll go ahead and just keep this open just to see what people are saying. Somebody had posted in there, my favorite Van Halen record is Balance, and people were like going nuts, saying, "Hey, you know that Roth wasn't on that, blah blah blah, whatever, or that's not, you know, that's not from '84, blah blah blah." And I had commented, well, you know, that song "Strung Out" was recorded in '83, which is the truth. You know, that's the song of Eddie throwing the batteries onto the piano wire, right? Isn't that "Strung Out"?
I think so.
It's well, on that list, it'd be the song right before "Not Enough."
Yeah.
If that's the song right before "Not Enough." If it says
Yes,
"Strung
it is,
Out,"
yep.
"Strung Out." Okay, so "Strung Out" was recorded in 1983. There it is. Although,
Yeah.
okay,
That's
Yeah.
not going to get flagged. There's no way. If that gets flagged, I'll pay for it.
but
I'll
anyway,
send you a super chat if that.
okay, all right. So I had. Oh, okay. Oh, dude, you're getting some stuff now, man. Uh-oh. But anyway, yeah, I had said, hey, "Strung Out" was actually recorded in '83. So in a way that fits. I mean, in a way it does, but of course in a bigger way, you know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, all that.
In the
but,
grand scheme of things.
yeah. Yeah, which for me, you know, it sucks because I love everything there is Van Halen. All of it. All of it. You know, we talk about all of it. But you know, I realize when you name a group, you know, Van Halen 1978 to 1984, and you get almost 20,000 members and you're adding like 100 people a day to it, they're in there expecting early Van Halen content. You know?
Yep.
So I understand that. And for me, it's fine. You know, I
start another group that's Van Halen, you know, 86 to 96 or something.
I think somebody did.
And then it was like 86 to 96 -2004 or something, I think. Yeah, I think I was in one of those for a bit.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many, but I'm not going to touch it though, because, you know, there's so many people. You know, this group is growing. It's getting so big.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave it up, like whatever I did as far as the name or whatever it is, I'm going to leave it alone. And I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the earliest stuff myself. I love it all.
Yep.
I love it all, you know. Okay. All right, so back to favorite sounding. Okay, on Balance, "Don't Tell Me" is a great, just the mix, the sound. I've always loved the what's the actual sound of those? You know, like the end, like the very end of the song, you hear like all those little sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you like? What is that to you?
Oh God, I'd have to listen to it again. Hold on.
The sound effects. You hear them during. You hear. You hear them during the ending. And if that gets picked up, yeah, it's like almost the very end of the song. You hear them.
Wait, he's doing the that?
No,
I'll have to listen closely then.
you have to listen with headphones. It's like does anybody know what I'm talking about? John BL, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean by that? There's these certain little sounds that you hear, like it's almost like reversed, like backwards. It's not feedback. I always kind of thought it sounded like a TV set.
I'll have to listen, man, because
it's like little, it's just little things that you hear. And anyway, that's within that song, and it's mixed in, and it adds a cool thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyway, that one I've always thought, you know, as far as the sound was great.
Well, let me back you up on that real quick. That, you know, "Don't Tell Me," like that song comes in with just the guitar, then the drums come in, and it's like punches you right in the chest, and then the bass comes in after that. So it's like one after the other. And it's just like every time something else comes in, it's like, yeah, oh, you know, it's one of those.
Actually, I think you actually hear those sound effects during the beginning of the song too.
I always thought that was kind of like strings, extra strings ringing out when he was scratching, muting the intro. You know, it
I don't
sounds
think
to
so.
me like almost like he's not muting the other strings and they're kind of like ringing out slightly, but it could be something else. Let's get him on the show and ask him.
I think, yeah.
Call Eddie.
I should have asked him that when I talked to him, but I did when I talked to him, I didn't bother him at all with any type of fan Van Halen
Good.
questions. Or actually, a mutual friend of ours introduced me, and she introduced us, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm a huge. But maybe I did say I was I told him I was kind of a fan. That's what I said.
A little bit.
I said I'm kind of a fan, you know. Are the strings behind the nuts called what?
Gooch strings.
I don't know. I don't know. You'll hear what I'm talking about though. Anyway, as far as production sounds, well, here's a song probably none of you have heard. Because you know, I listen to a lot of stuff, you know, and I listen to a lot of things for like production standpoints, and because I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. But there's this song by Katy Perry called Hey Hey Hey, which, you know, I know in Van Halen there's Hey 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 at the end of that. Anyway, that tune, I think the production is awesome. Just the whole, just the sound, just all the different things that are going on, you know, the sound effects, there's all different things. And
I'll have to check it out. My only issue with music like that is that, you know, and obviously somebody could tell me I'm an idiot if I say something like this, but with music where the majority of it is like electronic,
mm-hmm.
a lot of those sounds are already like ready for the mix. Like there's no live instruments and you don't have to really go boosting and cutting and trying to fit stuff in because it's so perfectly EQ'd and processed beforehand. And I know they do stuff to it. And I'm not saying that these guys just put stuff in and it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it's not like they're recording. I mean, unless this song you're talking about has live music or real instruments in it. But I just, you know, when I hear that type of stuff, I don't really, you know, get all pumped up like, oh, listen to that, you know.
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff, I mean, it is created, you know, it is made, and a lot of it, especially with that type of you know, commercial release. Well, I mean, some, you know, we do know there's sampling, you know, we can go all the way back to the late 80s and
shit earlier than that, man.
Well, I'm talking Van Halen wise, you know, Two Live Crew sampling Van Halen's Ain't Talking About Love, Tone Loc sampling Jamie's Crying,
mm-hmm.
you know, sampling that stuff. See, in that case, those samples, they're actually taken from, you know, an actual song, you know, so it's not so much created. But in a lot of other electronic music, a lot of those sounds are created. I mean, they're made I can't even say the word. Specifically, I can say part of it.
Yeah.
They are made for that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'll admit, you know, I did watch part of a concert where she was singing some of those songs. They didn't sound anything like the record, and she couldn't even sing the entire show because she's running around and she, although she was definitely singing, but she wasn't singing. It was mostly hey and hey everybody.
And usually, even if they are singing live, they'll usually have, you know, a track there to help support because they know. I mean, and I get it. You know, a lot of these that type of music, when you go to see it live, it's more for the show instead of the performance. And I get that. I understand how when Michael Jackson used to
Oh,
perform,
it's a show. It's a show.
it's a show. You want to see the
Yeah.
whole dance moves and the choreography and stuff, and I understand it. But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't expect her or Madonna or any of those like to get up on stage and just be able to sing everything perfectly while running around and doing, you know, you can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Bent Tom.
Oh, we're gonna get into this again.
Well, hey, you know, I've said it. You know, I'm a huge fan. You know, but I mean, I love everything. I love all different types of stuff. I mean, I'm really into just creating, and I'm really into, like, if I hear a sound. I know we talk about guitars, but hey, if I hear a sound that's created by a keyboard, you know, if I hear a sound that's just created, just made, like just anything, like this thing,
Yeah.
you know, these things, you know, these sounds, they were made, they were created. I'm into just the creation of I'm into like how stuff is made, I guess, if that makes sense.
I just heard that thing downstairs. Oh, that's funny, man.
You know, and music, you know, to me, music is music. To me, it doesn't have to be one certain type of thing. You know, and if you like something, you like it. That's like Eddie said that years ago. If you like it, you know, if it sounds good, it is good. No matter.
Well, and to reinforce that, Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies said, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's no good.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And back to the creative thing too, man. You know, you mentioned certain sound effects. You can relay that to the guitar as well. If you if you put on a different effect on your guitar amp or process or whatever, next thing you know, you're playing something that you wouldn't have played if you just had your regular tone on or something like that. You know, add a different timing delay or some cool reverbs or like a whole bunch of different stuff. And next thing you know, you're playing something that you wouldn't have played without that.
And actually, that's one of the reasons that I listen to the not just Katy Perry, but that type of music, is because there's a lot of effects going on.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to those vocals. There's a lot of delays, a lot of reverbs, and as a production standpoint, because, you know, I'm studying a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm studying synthesis and synthesizers and how that stuff is actually created. You know, I've been studying. Yeah, I've been studying this stuff for like 2 years now. Not everybody knows this because I don't talk about it. But, you know, listening to that stuff and hearing that stuff, I'm really into, you know, effects. You know, yes, I do love the delays and the reverbs on my guitar. You know, when I go live and play, you know, Music Man Mondays or whatever, you know, you guys hear me use a lot of that stuff. But hearing that type of stuff on vocals as well is very interesting, and how it's produced and mixed into the production, into the song. Like not everybody knows when you add a reverb or a delay to a song. You know, if you know what you're doing, you time it. You time the yes, you know, you time the delays, reverbs you can time.
Mm-hmm.
You time the stuff to the beat. You know, and so to hear that stuff on, like, let's say with the Katy Perry stuff on the vocals, you know, to me is very cool. Hearing how it's used within the song, and it's not just one thing. You know, one of the cool things about what her production is she adds a lot of reverbs to her vocals, to like different like words or different parts, you know. So within one song, you'll hear 20 different reverbs or 20
and
different
they'll
delays.
all be like automated and stuff, and like they're only kicking for a certain word or a certain part, and then you'll hear something.
Yeah, which adds a lot of dynamics to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so as a musician, you know, to me, it's awesome.
Yep.
You know.
Thank you, Boner Jams. I appreciate that, man. And whatchamacallit? Another thing, if you're messing around with like delays and stuff, especially in like whatever DAW you're using, Pro Tools or Logic or Reaper or whatever.
Yeah.
If you ever notice when you're auditioning a part or trying to figure out like a cool effect, if you either change the presets and the vocal time goes and changes, all of a sudden you'll get this wacky like, and it'll change, it'll screw with the whole thing. The cool thing with that is if you set automation in the middle of a part or a vocal part or whatever instrument you're putting it on, if you set automation to change the vocal time, especially a drastic vocal time in the middle of something, that effect will be on the part. And you can really get into some crazy stuff. And as Lars would say, some wacky shit if we're doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, it can be difficult to reproduce that live.
Of course.
You know?
But if you're playing to a click track, what you can do is you can print all the reverbs and delays,
right, and
play to that live. And, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's done, you know?
Yeah. And it makes it sound more like the actual album, you know, but records these days, they're so produced. I mean, when I was living with Desmond Child, actually, he actually wrote one of Katie's hits, actually, called
Katie's what? Oh, hits. Oh,
hits.
I thought, yeah, okay. She does have some nice hits.
There's a song called "Waking Up in Vegas," which was a single, like off her first record. That's a Desmond Child song.
Wow.
What was I saying? I forgot.
Because you're thinking about her hits.
I was gonna say something else. I forget.
Well, in the meantime, Bruce says, Johnny Beane and 708, what do you think about singers using auto-tune? Are you talking about like in the studio or
you're talking about live?
Live. Oh, live. Oh,
because in the studio, everybody uses it.
Yep.
Everybody.
If it's not auto-tune, it's Melodyne. If it's not Melodyne, it's Waves Tune or whatever.
It's vocal. That's what I was gonna say. When I was living at Desmond's house, you know, tracking, that's when I was first introduced to Pro Tools. I'd never seen Pro Tools before. You know, every studio I'd ever been in was actual tape, you know, an actual board. But when I saw the Pro Tools stuff, I realized, you know, when our singer was doing his vocal tracks, you know, he would sing, you know, 5 different takes, and then I would hang out afterwards. Desmond would be sitting there in the chair. He'd be telling Charles, the engineer, okay, let's say if the lyrics were, I'll just take something somebody's saying here. Everyone uses autotune. Boner Jams just said. If that was the line, Desmond would say, okay, take every from track 2, take 1 from track 4. Use, you know, every word was chopped up.
It's called comping. Yep.
Every vocal was comped, and when you hear the end result of that, it's like the perfect track. And yes, it is the guy singing it, but he actually didn't sing that. It was put together.
Yep.
And when I discovered that, I realized that's how
nothing is real. Nothing. We're in the Matrix.
That's how music is done. And also Desmond, actually, he worked with Steve Vai for years. He was Steve Vai's manager. Not a lot of people know that. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the Alien Love Secrets?
Yeah.
That front cover? That was Desmond's idea, to have him with the paint. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, he would tell me Steve Vai would comp all his guitars. All his solos. They're all comped.
Of course.
You know? Sorry, Steve. But yeah, I mean, that's how records are done.
But dude, it's even if, you know, we talked about, somebody mentioned the Black Album earlier, as far as from a production standpoint of great sounding, sonically great sounding records. If you watch the 1.5 years in the life of Metallica, the first DVD is them in the studio. And there's a part where when James, I think, is tracking guitars or whatever, they had a separate room where they were comping all of the drum takes together. So what they would do is one of the engineers and Lars would sit in there and they would listen to all the takes and be like, okay, this fill in this song, we like from take 6 or whatever. What they would do is they would track the entire song. What's so funny? What's so funny here?
I know.
No, and then they would pick like, okay, well, this fill is better than that fill. So take fill from take 6.
And not even
and they would basically everything is put together.
And not even this fill.
Yes.
That snare drum hit in this take. Use that for the snare drum for this other take. Fly over, this sound, and that's sampling. I mean, see, it's everywhere. Not everybody knows this.
No, and it's a lot of stuff people don't. I was told one time by an engineer who's a buddy of mine, actually, and I don't want to say his name on here, but I made a comment one time about after tracking drums, like going and editing them. And he was like, Jay, people at home listening to albums, they think that everything they're hearing was recorded in one take and just that. And he's like,
and they're not listening to, all they're really listening to is the singing. They're listening to the words and they're singing along to the song. And that's all they care about. The average music fan listener. There's so much. Hey, Jesse. Hey, dude. Good to see you, man. Jesse Dunn.
Yo.
Jesse Dunn. Hey, dude. Yeah, we were in like junior high together.
Oh. Let's get him on the show. Let's find out some beats. Let's find out how you were in junior high.
I'm the same.
Except you were taller than everybody back then, right?
I was taller, yeah. What was I going to say? No, the average music fan, they like, they're well, I don't have to explain this to you guys because you guys know,
they just listen to the entire.
You hear a song on the radio or hey, you hear something, oh, you like it, oh, that sounds good. I'll buy the album, you buy it, you listen to it, whether either you like it or you don't. Another friend of mine told me years ago that records are disposable, is what he said. He said rock and roll, it's disposable. They're made. What is this? This is whole Celebrity Skin cassette tape right here.
Where's the puke button on my? Nah, I'm just joking.
See, I have a lot of different stuff. I actually probably bought this in Miami. I used to listen to. This came out when I was actually in Miami, 1998. Yeah. Oh, that's another song. The song "Celebrity Skin." The production on that song is great. I've always loved the guitars in that tune, and actually the song "Malibu," which was a single. That's actually a really good song, I think. Anyway, I think that's a good one.
Well, let me give away a secret on here, I guess. When I track vocals, usually you guys know I deal with like heavier stuff, so guys screaming, and it's very hard to, especially in a recording sense. You're playing live, it's a different story, but in a recording sense, a guy can't blow his throat out for 4 minutes in a row and just expect to have the same energy, 30 seconds into a song as they do 4 minutes into a song. You'll notice the performance declining the whole time.
Yeah.
So what Johnny kind of mentioned before about comping takes together, I kind of do the same thing. I'll tell a singer, all right, I usually have the singer print out the vocals or the lyrics, so I can kind of like see what they're saying and make sure that they're enunciating everything properly and I can understand it. And then, you kind of go through, and if you hear them kind of struggling to say something, a certain phrase, a certain way to fit it in, you can kind of rework it. But I'll usually have a singer sing line by line, and then we'll go through and be like, okay, you hear this one word on this take, let's punch that in, and it's not like you're just singing that word. Like you said before, Black Jack, whatever, says Jay likes the Cookie Monster sound. So if that's the lyric, Jay likes the Cookie Monster sound. If you wanted to fix the, you wouldn't just say, you know, you would sing the whole line again, but I would just punch in the one word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then once you get that one line perfect, you move on to the next one, so that a singer isn't losing gas the entire time. They're, you know,
to do a great punch in, like let's just take guitar for instance, you know, like if I was to do a punch, you know, like let's say I'm doing a solo and I hit a bad note, I would play the solo again in its entirety, play along with it, and then like what I do when I'm sitting here, you know, you don't just do the one note because you can hear.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that sounds hurried, or that sounds like they're trying to get it on the beat. Yeah. Yeah. So you would do that, or as far as comping, you know, you would actually. I did this yesterday. I've been recording guitar for an artist, for somebody, for a song. And some of you guys have seen my posts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, me playing that Wolfgang. You know, that was me, you know, recording. Anyway, I did some I'll just say you guys will hear the song eventually if it's released. I think that's why I'm doing it. It's supposed to come out. I did like Santana type guitar leads over during the entire. There's no guitar solo in the song, but during the vocals you hear little like Santana style leads. Like remember when he did the record with what was that hit with the guy from, what was that band?
You're not helping me out here. I don't know. What's that song by who's to call it and what's
the Santana? Remember he did the record with all different singers. You know, Brian May, Pete Townsend, Phil Collins,
a number of people.
No, but the one guy, he was in that one band that was huge at the time. Somebody, yeah, Matchbox 20. Thank you, John Beal. Jason Lee, thank you.
Oh, that's right. Oh God, that's one.
Remember that song?
If I never heard them again, I'd be happy.
Terry, thank you, man. Yeah, Smooth. Yeah, that was Rob Thomas. All right, so if you guys remember that song, you know, during the singing, you hear little licks. So anyway, I did that on the song yesterday, but I ran through the song 3 times, doing all different licks. And the guy I did this for, he doesn't know I did this, but that's how you do this. Yeah, nobody, don't tell anybody. Okay, so once I was done, once I did 3 parts, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I put the guitar away. I haven't touched the guitar since. But within my DAW, I had 3 different lines of guitar. I went and I listened and I picked all different licks and mixed them up and put them into one continuous part.
Yep.
So some of those leads, some of those licks, I didn't actually play. I created them.
Hold on. Well, you played them, but not in that.
I played
order.
them, but not in that order.
Yeah.
Like let's say I did something, you know, a C to a D to a B, you know. Oh, I chopped it up. Now it's C, D, B, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and actually doing that, you can actually create licks and lines that you wouldn't have thought of, you know, because you do all that afterwards. And am I glitching out to you?
No.
Okay, you're glitching to me for some reason. You're like slow motion. Does Jay look like that for everybody? Your audio is still good though.
Is it?
Yeah, the audio is fine.
Wait, I thought you said the audio. You just said the audio is clipping.
No, oh no, glitching. I meant the video. The video is like,
but the audio is good.
Audio is fine.
Okay,
audio is good. Yeah, Jay's going blurry.
Oh God. 8-bit J. Who am I downloading? What's my browser's queue on right now?
But yeah, so anyway, yeah, you look good now. Yeah, so anyway, I created licks, you know, within my DAW by grabbing, and you call it fly or flying, or you fly over, you know, little parts.
Well, usually flying is like if you take chorus 1 and you don't feel like re-recording chorus 2, so you just fly it over to, you know, the next one. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess
Well,
it's the same kind of idea.
it's similar. It's similar. It's
Yeah.
I'm grabbing. How can I explain it? I'm trying to explain with my hands.
Dude, I'm grabbing. Talking about Katy Perry, I'm grabbing.
So let's say this is my DAW. Actually, I should actually.
This is my DAW on drugs.
Can I do this?
Oh, you're gonna screen share?
Can I open it? I can actually. Well, I'm running. Actually, I'm running from here too. Let me know. Actually, let me do this. I'm still here, right?
Oh no.
I'm gonna open the session. I can see myself here. I'm on 2 different computers. Okay. Let me know if I'm glitching because I'm opening the DAW right now. Oh no. Application requested. Uh-oh. Oh, now it's crashing.
Oh man. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, I think nowadays, especially in the digital realm, like everybody does that. I mean, you know, there's solos on the new Gizmachi record where, you know, I played them, but then, you know, you listen back and you're like, ah, man, that one note, either you flubbed it or, you know, I know there, for instance, there's one part I do a solo in kind of the intro part of the song, like a cool lead thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one part where I bent up to a note and I sent it to the guys to listen to. And the other guitar player, Mike, was like, ah, man, that note you're bending to, he's like, it's kind of weird, you know, try a different note. And I ended up doing like 3 different takes. The rest of the solo kind of stayed the same, but I just kept overdubbing or punching in to that one part, you know, but again, it sounds like one continuous take. What are you doing?
Here it is. I got it. Okay, here. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna close it. I can't play you guys the song because it's not mine, but all right, check this out. I'm gonna show you guys. Here, I got to send this to myself. Okay, there's the picture. Okay, I'll load it into here. I'll show you guys the DAW. I'll show you guys what I was, instead of like doing like all this type of stuff. I'll show you guys exactly what it is that I did, and you guys, it'll give you an idea. Yeah, this is great, man. Yeah, see, I love talking about this stuff, man. This is
me too, dude. I love it.
This is because, you know, it's not only fun, but it's educational, which is a huge win. It's win-win for this type of thing that we're doing. If you can teach people something, that's okay.
The only problem with teaching people how to do stuff is now they feel like, you know, I put myself out of business. Some band will ask me to like, oh, you know, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, we don't need you to mix our song because you told us how to do it. I'm like, oh man.
Well, I mean, you don't give all the secrets away, but okay. Should I show that? Let me actually make sure there's nothing weird. Make sure it's just all generic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here, check this out, you guys. Here's the session for the song I was doing. Right there. Okay. So what you're looking at, and Jay's like, ugh. It's like, oh, look at that.
Oh, it's fun.
It's okay, right? Okay. So what you're seeing there, the top 2, right? 1, 2. Yeah. The top 2 lines. Let me think. I mean, you can tell just by looking. Okay, I would say the very top. What's that bottom one? Actually, I think it's all the same. I think it's all similar. Okay, so those are guitar, pretty much licks throughout the song. That the bottom one, not the very bottom, but the let's see, the 1, 2, 3, the third line from the top. Does that make sense? The one that's green and gray.
Can you move your mouse over it? Will it show it?
No.
Okay.
You can't see this, can you? No. Anyway, long story short, that very bottom line, that's all created. That's all licks, all taken from those two previous tracks and mixed up. And obviously that the line above that, that's similar. So as you can see, that's all like the end result of all the green there is one guitar line. But it's all mixed up and chopped up and reversed and
Yeah. Oh God, I could imagine if I opened up one of our sessions and you saw one of the guitar solo tracks, you'd be like, dude, why is there like 1,000 edits?
yeah. But that's what you just saw there. I mean, that's my own little version of it. That's the way music looks. That's the way a song looks. Like, you know, you go to the store and you buy the tape. If you were to see what this looked like, that's what you would see. And it wouldn't just be for the guitar, it'd be for everything.
Yeah.
Every instrument, everything you can imagine is a whole screen full of that. And there are tricks. I mean, there are helpful things you can do where you color code, where a certain instrument has a certain color, a certain part has a certain color. You know, let's say, oh, the chorus, you know, all the choruses are green, all the verses are blue, you know.
Mhm.
There's certain, all the guitars are orange, you know, the second guitar, blah, you know.
Yeah.
There are certain, that's a key ingredient, which Jay can tell you for mixing or for
Yeah,
recording, for,
when
you know.
the instruments are color coded, it just when you obviously like you kind of mentioned, when you're dealing with, you know, 20 drum tracks, you know, between snare top, snare bottom, kick, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, tom 4, tomfoolery. You got the hi-hat, the ride,
Bent Tom,
yeah, bent tomfoolery,
Bent Tom 2.
the you know, overhead left, overhead right, room left,
Um,
room right, extra room mono mic. Like it, you can just, you know, and then you obviously I love miking the China as well, because whenever, you know, the music that I listen to when I record stuff, the China is a very key ingredient.
mhm.
And sometimes, if you know, if a drummer's using a splash cymbal, a lot of times those splashes don't, you know, they're a lot lower than than the regular cymbals, and they might not project as much into the overhead microphones. So I like individually miking the splashes as well. And once you get into that, there's obviously a whole crap load of drum tracks. Then you got, you know, your bass guitar, you know, and usually you'll do a bass amp and then a bass DI. So that's 2 bass tracks right there. Guitar
Yeah.
left, guitar right, you know.
But that's of the same thing.
Hmm?
That's the same thing. Like where you're saying there's the bass DI and the bass mic'd.
Yeah. Yeah, they would be the same color.
It's the
as
same.
far as,
It's the same performance.
yes,
The
yes, exactly.
exact same performance. Two different sources.
Yeah, 2 different sources. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you get all the vocal mics, the solos, I mean, when you scroll down a session sometimes, it's like if everything was the same color, it'd be a night. Yeah, like it's just, you know, I'm not the most organized person. My wife will tell you that, and my parents. But sometimes when it comes to like a complicated session or a busy session.
Well, that was me in a hurry. I mean, that was me.
But yeah, but that's, I mean, but there's,
it's still pretty clean. I mean, it's really not.
yeah.
You know.
But you just have, they sent you a basic, you know, like a wave or an MP3 of the song. So it's not like they sent you the entire session where there's every single instrument on a different track.
Right.
Where you
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah. They were sending me mixes of the song. Where it was just a complete like one track. And then I would go and put, you know, 20 tracks of guitar around that and comp it to create one. Actually, now how many guitars did I do? I did one. I think I did 3. I think there's 3 guitars in the song.
Guitar.
I think, yeah. Yeah, and I think I'm done. I think I'm done with it. He already paid me. He paid me a week ago for it.
See, no, don't pay somebody too early. I'm done. We got a question about Robot Master Switch asks, Jay, do you push ride up or do you prefer to push the ride symbol down, or does it? I'm not understanding that.
Push right up, or do you prefer to push the ride symbol down, or does it depend? What about
Well, I don't know exactly what you mean by that. I'll get to the second question in a minute. But what I usually do is, obviously the overheads and the room mics, they're always on. But what I'll do is any cymbals that are individually mic'd, as well as the tom mics, I go in and clean them out. In other words, if they're not being hit, they're off. You know, so I'll find the transient, if anybody knows what that means. It's the initial, you know, when you're looking at a wave file in your DAW, that first line of the hit. Yeah, Johnny will show you.
I can't scroll in, but the very first thing, because the very first thing that you hear is the actual sound, as far as drums.
Yep.
As far as the beater, you know, on the kick drum. The first.
So John BL, he says gate. It's kind of like a gate, but I like to manually do it. So I'll find the transient, and then I'll let the instrument, whether it's a tom or a cymbal, go through its natural decay, and then I'll fade it out. You know, so basically, if you have especially a very dense drum track where there's, like I said before, all these microphones going on at once, there's phase issues that you have to worry about. Mm-hmm. And then there's just, you don't want 15 microphones going at once. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of, you know, clear that, clean up a lot of the stuff, because frequencies start fighting with each other and it can just turn into a mess. So, yeah, it's, you have to kind of make sure things are cleaned out and not too noisy.
Yeah. Sound, you know, sound can be your worst nightmare.
Your worst nightmare.
Especially with the drum set, you have all those mics and you have them so close together.
Yep.
You know, you're talking about the phase issues where you got to flip the phase switch between these two mics, because all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden it sounds like this.
Yeah, super thin, no body to it. That's the one thing. Initially, like, it's funny, if you have a snare top and a snare bottom mic, it's the same source, and 99 times out of 99, if that makes any sense, you got to flip the phase on the bottom snare mic. Yeah. Otherwise, like you said, it sounds super. Like, dude, what'd you use, a one inch snare drum? Like, it just sounds like it has no body. Flip the phase on it, bah! Then it's like, yeah, there it is.
That's where it was. It was hiding. Yeah.
Yep. Well, what was the question about the kick drums? I don't know if I should give up this secret, because a lot of people won't like it.
Yeah. Tell it next week. Come back next week.
I'll tell it next week. Come back for the kick drum secret. And especially, usually this is just in metal, and it's not my secret. I learned it from one of the bigger metal producers that's around now. And the second he told me this trick, I was like, holy crap, what a great idea. And I've been using it ever since. Called him right there from his shop. Oh,
man, dude, yeah, there's it's endless, man, talking about the music production and there's just so much.
Yep.
So much to it, you know. And I'm learning a lot, you know. I mean, a lot of the stuff, you know, you kind of learn and you figure out on your own over the years, whether you're recording through a Tascam tape deck or a you know, whatever it is, but you learn. You never stop learning. Never. You're always learning something new.
And when you think you know everything and you think you don't need to learn anything new, that's when you turn to crap. You know, you got to be open. I mean, I do it all the time. If I'm mixing a song or whatever, I'll have an idea in my head and I'll try to figure it out of how to do it. But sometimes I'll be like, man, let me go on YouTube and see, like, if somebody else kind of has a different take on it or a different approach. And I'll be like, oh, and then you could either go by their approach, or sometimes you can combine what you like, the idea that you had, with theirs, and it'll be like a new thing. Mm-hmm. I'm getting pumped. I want to like mix a song now. Anybody got any music?
Yeah. Yeah, it's endless. It's endless. And when you think you know everything, that's when you realize you don't. Somebody else will say something to you, or you'll learn something from somewhere. And usually, I hate to say it, you guys, you'll learn something from a place you don't even expect. Like I was talking about Katy Perry songs earlier. There's stuff I've learned and I hear out of that stuff. And yes, I do listen to that stuff. But there's stuff that I can take from that and use with my own stuff, my own production.
Yeah.
You know? And believe it or not, you guys, I remember somebody was talking about Eddie Van Halen. It was a story on Van Halen News Desk. Somebody said Eddie went to their house, like he brought him a guitar or something. Anyway, the dude's story, he said when Eddie pulled up, he was listening to Tori Amos.
Wow.
That's what he heard him playing, And I mean, is Alan, are you still in here, man? Remember Eddie always saying that he doesn't listen to new music, or he doesn't. The last record he bought was like
Brand X
from years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he's full of it.
I don't know, man. I mean, to see, there's so many different things we can talk about.
I know. I'm trying to look through the comments because I think I saw something. How many? The dog paw says, how many little mini cuts and such do you think Eddie did back in the day with tape? You can hear, like, there's a handful of Van Halen solos that you can hear little tiny things of, like, either extra noise coming through or he didn't hit a note that great. But back then it was hard, like, especially a guitar solo on tape. It was very hard to, like, punch in a tiny spot, man.
Well, do you remember Roth actually said this recently? Maybe it was on Joe Rogan.
Probably.
He actually said, he's like, do you ever notice how on Eddie's solos how they go like from here to here, like so quick? Well,
and
they're
broken up. They're like sections.
Roth was saying that all his solos were comped together back then.
Yeah, but not like, I think the dog paw means, like, as far as little edits, like here and there, like as far as him editing the solos. I think what Roth was saying and what you're getting at is, like, the solo, let's just say, how many bars or whatever a solo is, they'll be broken up into like 4 sections of the solo.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of, and that's maybe what he would do. He would track one pass of part A, go back and kind of like, okay, that one's cool, or I can do it better, and kind of go through it like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but yeah, you can hear. And actually, I actually do have 10 hours of Van Halen instrumental tracks that were from the Guitar Hero from the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say mainly a lot of the punch-ins that I hear are actually on the bass parts. You can actually hear a lot of the bass stuff, and you actually hear the punches. You hear like the change. Like, oh, that's obviously a different take there because the feeling is totally different.
Use a different pick on that one.
yeah. But a lot of that stuff, like that's like behind. That's like tucked into the mix. So you can't really. You can't really hear a lot of that stuff.
Unless you hear it a lot. Geez, what am I trying to say now? Drums, it's very easy to hear the little. It's easier to hear that type of stuff because, let's just
because there's no there's always a tail.
Yeah, and
always.
I've come across it as well. Like you're tracking drums. And I'm like, all right, we got to fix, this drum fill, or from here on, you kind of botched it. So we're going to start from this. Well, if a drummer doesn't hit the exact same cymbal before you're punching, let's just say he hits his left crash instead of his right crash. Next thing you know, as soon as you punch in the wrong cymbal, like all of a sudden it'll be like, you're like, what just happened there? It was a different cymbal.
And with all those mics, you get the bleed from that original cymbal. You punch in the wrong one, you hear like the two cymbals together,
mm-hmm.
and they're fighting. Like
Yeah, I love it's. It's funny. Whenever I record drums, I'm like super excited because I love recording. But by the time drum tracking ends, I'm like so over it because of those issues. You got tuning, mics getting hit and moved, and you're like, all right, now we gotta, you get like a minute later in the song, and you're like, dude, the snare doesn't sound the same anymore. God damn it. And then you got to figure out, you got to go in, move the microphone, tune the head, and then you got to go back in and be like, okay, we're gonna A/B it from the start of the song, keep hitting it, keep playing, and then you're like, it still doesn't sound the same. I got to fix it. It's just, it turns into a nightmare with that type of stuff. It gets to be a pain.
Yeah, but once you get the drums done, you can move on.
Oh, yes.
You can move on
Break
to the
them
next.
down. Get them out of here.
And then, of course, you'll have hours and hours of you have to deal with the next instrument, but
I always do guitars after drums. Guitars before bass, in my opinion. And I'll explain next week why that is. We got a couple things to talk about next week.
Awesome. Okay, where are we? Yeah, I know you. I know it's later where you are.
I know. I want to keep going with this stuff because it's awesome. And I hope if any of you guys out there or girls out there that are, either just recording yourselves or recording other people, like, not with a video camera. I hope that
if you have questions, leave comments below. Leave some comments, whether it's questions, whether it's a comment on your own experience, recording your own stuff, whatever it is, anything we talked about tonight, whatever it is, drop a comment down below.
And if it's something that we're talking about that we do, if you do a different thing, I'd love to hear that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you do that, Jay? Why don't you, it's so much easier if you just did this,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess we're good. Thank you everybody for watching this. I know I've been doing this for years, but okay. So we talked about that. We talked about this one. I can't even read my own writing. Can you even read?
I can't either. I always do the same thing. I'll like scribble a bunch of stuff.
Can you read
like
this?
What the hell? It's like looks like you were trying to like.
What does that even say?
Like work on your autograph, like your sign. Like how should I sign my name? Should it be like this? Should it be like
Well, when you get your own pics made, that's what you do. There was like 100 different, things. By the way, if anybody wants a guitar pick, PayPal $1. Link down below. Speaking of, I'll tell you something off the air here, which is pretty cool.
Speaking of boner jams. Oh, wait, real quick. Before we got to go, I see a question. Tubin. Hey, man, we haven't seen that name for a while, right?
Hey, Tubin.
He says, hey, guys, I have a question. Do the new 2020 EVH Frankies all have dirty necks or are some cleaner than others? I really like the idea of the ones that look really worn and dark. Some are really dark, like our buddy Caleb from Nerd Halen. He got his, and it was like somebody spray painted it super dark. So he took a little bit of I don't know if he wants me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. But he took a little bit of steel wool and just kind of lightened it up a tad. Because in his opinion, I think he thought it was a little too dark. But our other buddy Cameron Cooper,
I like it. Yeah. I like the way they look.
Yeah.
I like the darkness of them. And hey, Adam, good to see you, man.
Hey, man. But Cameron Cooper got one, and his doesn't look like really dark at all. Almost looks like normal. So, Cameron Brown also got one. His is kind of like in the middle. So I think it varies, man, which I think is kind of neat. Every one of them is different. I hope when mine gets here, it's kind of in the middle as well. I don't want it super dark, but I also don't want it to look like it's a regular brand new maple neck.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
I like them.
And EVH Gear should send Johnny Beane a Frankenstrat. He sells more EVH guitars than anybody except for Eddie. Come on.
I do it because I love it.
I know.
I
But
love it.
I can pimp you out.
I've loved their guitars, ever since forever. Okay, what am I doing? All right, we're out of here. Let me just do one more thing here. All right. And Adam, I'll talk to you soon, man. I know I told you a long time ago that we would talk about something. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you soon. Dave Sampin, good to see you, man. Bent Tom, good to see you. Nightbot, of course. Everybody, thank you for watching. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night, Saturday Night Live, with your host, John BL, here on the Johnny Beane TV network. You're going to see a lot more stuff coming up. And yeah. Where are we? Where's the thing? Okay, I played this one. All right. Good to see you, Jay.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye, Johnny Beane TV.